After a 3-1 win over Aston Villa at Etihad, Man City are set to travel to the Emirates to play against Arsenal. That is on Wednesday, and this is why we are here to bring you City's predicted starting 11 versus Arsenal here onto the Rokani Media Football. Smash the like button, comment and share, and guys, don't forget to subscribe. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner there is a black button that has the word subscribe. Smash it. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that whenever you get notified every time we upload a video onto this channel. You know how it is. You know how the game is all about. Arsenal versus Man City is really a big one because whoever wins just puts himself into a better position to win the Premier League title this season. With 22 games played by Man City, Arsenal has played 21. When they play tomorrow, Man City would have played 23 games and Arsenal would have played 22 games, meaning that Man City has played one more game than Arsenal. Yesterday on the score sheet, as City beat Aston Villa, they had Mahrez, Rodri and Ika Gundogan, and an assist coming in from Erling Haaland, who walked out of the pitch and he is doubtful for the game of Arsenal. We don't know whether he's really going to be out or in, but the manager Pep Guardiola has gone ahead to throw in lots of things concerning this guy. Now, without further ado, the other player that is really out of this game concerning City's side is John Stones. John Stones is out, and I think he still has one more month for him to return and play football for a side called Manchester City. But the rest of the players are in. Haaland is doubtful, and the manager's really going ahead to throw in more light as far as this is concerned. People were doubting why, or people were suspicious as to why the manager took off a player called Ruben Neves off the pitch. The reason was simple. He was not injured, but he had been booked, and if at all he really got a second bookable offense, would have been sent off the field of play because he was facing one of the toughest players in the Premier League, known as Oli Watkins. Now, when you look yesterday, City played with a system of 3-2-4-1. That's how they played, with 3 central defenders. But I believe in this game of football, they can't try to do something and experiment it when they're really at the Emirates, because they know how important this game is. And I believe they are going to go in for the following system, as they've always stood by it, and it has won them very many trophies. That is a side called Man City, and I think they're going to go for a 4-3-3 system. That's what they're going to go for, though they played a 3-2-4-1 with Ake, Laporte and Diaz in the 3-man central defense. Rico Williams was really on the bench. He never really played into that game, but Man City happened to win that game of football by 3-1, and it was a convincing win, and that's how they really travel to Emirates. And let's go to the players who believe are really going to be into that starting 11 of City as they face Arsenal in there for you. Now, that's the pitch, and let's see who starts in goal. Obviously, it's not Ortega. It's Ederson to start in goal because he's one of the best goalkeepers at Man City, though he's always one error away, but he helps them build from behind a lot because he's really a very good goalkeeper at ball distribution. He's one of the best ball distributors in the world that I've seen, though Alisson combines shot stopping and ball distribution. That's why Alisson to me is the best goalkeeper in the world. But Ederson starts in goal as Man City faces Arsenal. The right back position is really so much contagious, and obviously there is a lot of debate that is really taking place in between the fans of City. Should Rico Williams come in through, or Kyle Walker should come in through? But remember, who are they going to face? If at all you are Pep Guardiola, you wouldn't like your 18-year-old to face Martinelli or Trossard with his experience and all what he brings in the game, or Martinelli, a player who is fast and direct, who can really sit down Rico Williams. However much Rico Williams has been a very good player, you saw what happened to him when they were playing Tottenham Hotspur. He was pressed down after that sloppy pass that was given to him by Rodri, and obviously Hogberg found a touch that passed the ball to Harry Kane, and Harry Kane scored that one goal that saw Man City being beaten for the 5th time in the season at London Stadium, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and obviously it never really went the way they were. So I don't think he's going to risk him and bring him in. I think he's going to put on this man known as Kyle Walker, because experience is going to be the key to this game of football. Experience is really going to be key, and the manager of Man City has really gone ahead to say the following about this guy who returned from injury, and obviously he has been having an on and off season, but this time round he really looks ready to see to it that he really tussles it out. And after the game yesterday, he said, especially in the way we are behaving in training sessions in the last week, 10 days, Kyle Walker is back, not just in performance, but the way he's behaving many players. So he's hinting about Kyle Walker as to how he has gone ahead to return back onto where he wants him to be. And that shows you that no reason as to why this player is not going to start into the game of Man City. And I really, really, really want to see everything that is taking place in between this side of the right side, because Nico Williams is really one of those that has always been favored by people. But I believe in a game of this magnitude, that really either brightens Man City's chances to get back into the title race and get on top of the table, or see Arsenal lead them by 6 points, is really important. And experience is key in this game. So I believe that guy known as Kyle Walker is going to start ahead of Rico Williams. Let's go to the left back. The left back is really tricky because Cancelo left, and we've seen Rico Williams sometimes being played that side, but I believe there is a player that the manager really wants to go ahead and really play into that position. And that player to me is Nathan Ake. With the game he played at the Etihad Stadium, as Arsenal were being knocked out by Man City in the 4th round of the FA Cup, he tight-marked Bukayo Saka, and Saka couldn't find a way to go past Nathan Ake. In the entire 90 minutes, Bukayo Saka never found himself past Nathan Ake, and I believe it will be a very huge blunder if at all Pep Guardiola doesn't side with Nathan Ake, because there is nothing that he never did to prevent Bukayo Saka from really going past him. And obviously, this time round there is a difference. The other game was at the Etihad. This one is going to be at the Emirates, whereby Arsenal are really going to be having an edge. And secondly, Bukayo Saka has just really put in a very beautiful cross on Saturday. A very beautiful cross that saw Trossard score, I think in the 66th minute, before Brentford leveled in the 77th minute, though the goal was not supposed to stand. But it shows you that Saka is trying to find himself back in form, because for the previous 3 games, he has not been that Bukayo Saka that we knew, who is electric. But this time around, he is really leading, and obviously, he might have found his form back that can see him face Nathan Ake. So Nathan Ake is going to be facing that man. In the central defense, there is a statistic that is really trading all over social media that out of the 17 games Ruben Diaz and Laporte have played together, City has only lost 1, but they've won 13. I think they've won 14, drawn 1, I think, and lost 1. That's the start, meaning that is their best central defense partnership that really brought them lots of things. But there is a man who has not almost missed out any game ever since he came out from the Bundesliga to come and play for Pep Guardiola's side, and that is Akanji. Now, when you look at this central defense partnership, I believe he's going to go with Akanji on the right side of the central defense, and then bring in Ruben Diaz, to me, who is one of the best central defenders in the Premier League. He's a rock into that central defense, on the left side of the central defense. That's my central defensive partnership, because Laporte has not been playing very many games. So I believe you need Akanji, who has been one of the best City's defenders this season, alongside Ruben Diaz, who is really a man good at even scoring goals, especially in set pieces. So I believe that's how it's going to be, and that's going to be the back 4 of City as they take on Arsenal. In the midfield, very much predictable. Central defensive midfield, that is the single pivot. I think it's going to be Rodri, because Kevin Phillips has failed to come anywhere near dislodging Rodri from that position. And I believe Rodri is one of the best central defensive midfielders in the Premier League. Then the others will include Kevin De Bruyne playing on the right side of the midfield three, and obviously Ilkay Gundogan coming in through and really scoring a goal yesterday, playing on the left side of the three-man midfield. But the manager of Man City is a manager who cooks a lot, so he can overcook and obviously find himself maybe bringing a Bernardo Silva or any other player, or Phil Foden in the midfield three. You know what he does. And you know, overcooking sometimes really reduces or kills the taste of food. You know that very well. So I believe this is the best thing to do. Let him really start with these three. And I believe we are expectant of this because Ilkay Gundogan is on form. He missed out on the game of Tottenham Hotspur. He never started, but brought him on. He couldn't impact the game. But when he brought him back in the game of Aston Villa, he gave Aston Villa a game to an extent that even scored a goal. So I think Ilkay Gundogan, Rodri, and Kevin De Bruyne are going to be in the midfield three of Man City as they face on a side called Arsenal at the Emirates in a do-or-die game. Now, let's go to the forwards. I believe that Jack Grealish is looking great. He's been putting in a couple of assists for his fellow players, though not scoring goals. And even over the weekend, that's yesterday, he's the one who really led to that penalty that Riyad Mahrez scored to put, I think, the score to 3 towards the end of the first half. So he's really in good form, and I believe he's one of those that the manager is going to start with on the left forward side of the pitch. Then the other one is Riyad Mahrez. I know there is Bernardo Silva, there is Phil Foden, but I believe Mahrez deserves a slot into that side because he has been on form, scoring in goals, and I don't know who I'm going to put up in my combined 11 as a right forward because Saka, good. Mahrez has been doing this for a very, very long time. So you wait for that combined 11. I think it's going to come in through tomorrow as I will let you know what my thoughts are about which player fits in both of the teams as we do that combined 11. That's going to happen tomorrow. So after that, we are remain with only one position, and that position is all about a man known as either Haaland or Julian Alves. Now, after the game yesterday, the manager of City had the following to tell us about the Haaland scenario. That Haaland's injury, I don't know how serious Haaland's injury is, but that it was a kick in the leg. Man City manager does not seem particularly concerned. That's what he said. And then he said, if the result was more tight, then maybe I don't do it. Take off Haaland at half time. I don't think he's injured. But tomorrow we'll see. Hopefully he can be in for Wednesday. If it is a risk or he is not ready, he's not going to play. So the manager is really telling us that he's really doubtful whether this guy known as Haaland is really going to be part of the City side that is going to be playing at the Emirates. To me, I believe if you're an Arsenal fan, that doesn't sound like good news for you because Haaland is easily kept out of the game. That's it. Haaland is easily kept out of the game. But this lad who resulted into you conceding in the FA Cup, Julian Alves, will be coming in through the World Cup winner to lead the line at the Emirates. So if you're an Arsenal fan, you would have prayed to see Haaland here. I know some Arsenal fans will say Haaland, but you saw how good Rob Holding won a battle over Haaland in the first half. The reason as to why the manager took him off is because he was on a yellow card and knew that maybe they would target him and obviously force him to get a second bookable offense, hence being sent off the field of play. That's why Saliba came in through in the second round. But I believe they really played a very good game at Man City and they closed down Haaland very well. But Julian Alves coming on through, hitting that ball into the lower bottom corner and hit what we call the post. Then it found, I think, Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish released Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake, using his weak right foot, he curled that ball into the bottom left corner of the goal, and it was 1-0, and that's how Arsenal was knocked out of the FA Cup. So I believe that's going to be my starting 11, and Arsenal fans have every reason to worry if I told Julian Alves that's because he's a more ball-playing striker than Haaland. Though Haaland came in and really scored a goal, sorry, and put up an assist that saw Ilkay Gundogan score a second goal for City yesterday. I believe Julian Alves is a better striker suiting this game because his mobility is out of this world, and secondly, his hold-up play is better than that of Haaland, and he sweeps left, right, and center, making it hard for Arsenal fans to really, so for Arsenal players to know who to mark, especially on that front three: Jack Grealish, Riyad Mahrez, and Julian Alves, because Alves will shift, will switch positions with Mahrez and Jack Grealish occasionally. So I believe that is the starting 11 of City, and I don't know what you think about it, but that's what I've gone in for. And if at all you're an Arsenal fan or a Man City fan watching in, tell me your thoughts about this squad, where we are going to be having a system of 4-3-3, and the following players we expect them to start as a predicted starting 11, and that is Ederson in goal, Kyle Walker over Lewis, then Akanji on the right side of the center defense, left side of the center defense, Ruben Diaz, left back, I believe it's going to be Nathan Ake. In the midfield three are going to be having Rodri, Kevin De Bruyne, and Ilkay Gundogan. Then Julian Alves to lead the line, if at all Haaland is really not confirmed fit, all past fit. Riyad Mahrez right forward, and Jack Grealish as the left forward. Rokani David is my name. Thank you guys for watching in through and always keeping it this channel, this channel which is called Rokani Media Football. And thank you for always watching in, and don't forget to subscribe. Lower right bottom corner, black button, smash it. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you to get notified every time I upload a video on this channel. I'm returning back with the predicted Arsenal starting 11 versus City that most of you are really waiting for. I sign out for now. See you later. May the Lord bless you abundantly. I sign out for now. Bye-bye.